The corn dog is an incredibly popular and beloved snack, sure to be found at fairs, festivals, and amusement parks around the world. At its core, it's a simple yet ingenious design. A regular hot dog sausage is completely coated in a thick layer of cornmeal batter, then quickly fried in hot oil until perfectly golden and crispy. It's this combination of hot, juicy meat and a dense, slightly sweet and crispy casing that makes it so unique. In fact, the name corn dog is surprisingly simple and straightforward. The corn, wantor, in the name directly refers to the main and most important ingredient in this batter, and dog is simply short for hot dog, the sausage itself found inside. There's no other complicated or mysterious etymology involved. However, the history of this iconic dish began in the United States in the first half of the 20th century. It is generally accepted that its creators were German immigrants who brought with them the traditions of meat and sausage making. However, they encountered a problem. The standard European bread in which sausages were traditionally wrapped quickly went stale or spoiled in the heat of large agricultural fairs and festivals. They decided to employ a radical culinary solution. Instead of placing the sausage in already baked bread, they began to completely immerse it in a batter and then immediately fry it, thereby sealing the sausage. To give the dough a unique flavor distinct from ordinary bread and to utilize local ingredients, they replaced wheat flour with corn flour, which was widely available in the Americas. It became an instant culinary hit. One of the most important, if not the most important, innovations was the use of a wooden stick, which transformed the hot dog from a dish requiring a plate into the perfect food-on-a-stick product that could be eaten literally on the go while strolling through a noisy carnival. And this became the key to its mass popularity. I'd like to point out that the first patents for machines and equipment for mass-producing corn dogs appeared in 1929. But true commercial success came in the 1940s, when the legendary corny dog was introduced at the famous Texas State Fair. Since then, the corn dog has firmly established itself as an indispensable symbol of American summer, celebration, and carefree spirit, becoming the foundation for an entire snack industry. But to make the perfect corn dog, crispy on the outside and juicy on the inside, it's important to follow a few culinary rules. First, prepare the dog properly. Skewer it, and, crucially, dry it thoroughly with paper towels to remove any moisture that could prevent the batter from sticking properly. Next, prepare the batter, which must be very thick, much thicker than pancake batter. It includes corn and wheat flour for a balanced texture, milk or buttermilk, eggs, salt, and of course sugar, which not only adds that signature sweetness, but also helps the batter caramelize and acquire a rich golden color during frying. For easy dipping, the batter is often poured into a tall, narrow glass or cylindrical container so that the dog, held by the batter, is completely and evenly coated with a thick layer. After this, the corn dog is carefully lowered into hot vegetable oil, which should be heated to a temperature of exactly 175 to 180 degrees Celsius. If the oil isn't hot enough, the batter will absorb too much fat and become oily and heavy. If it's too hot, the crust will quickly burn, leaving the batter inside uncooked. Frying typically takes 3 to 5 minutes until the corn dog is a rich golden brown. After removing it from the fryer, it should be placed on a paper towel for a few seconds to remove excess oil and served while still hot. Now let's take a look at the classic corn dog, the one we know from American movies and fairs. It's usually served with the simplest and most familiar sauces: mustard, most often yellow American mustard, and ketchup. These two sauces create a perfect balance. The acidity and spiciness of the mustard contrast with the light sweetness and tomato flavor of the ketchup, complementing the slightly sweet corn dog coating. However, depending on the region and personal preference, the selection of sauces can be much broader, including mayonnaise, which adds creaminess, or hot sauces like sriracha or hot salsa, for those who enjoy a more intense experience. Sometimes you'll even find unusual combinations, such as sweet pickle sauce or even nacho cheese sauce drizzled on top. Despite its simplicity, the corn dog has become a symbol of a certain lifestyle, firmly associated with summer fun, parks, sporting events, and big family trips, where the ability to quickly grab a bite without cutlery, simply by the stick, is essential, turning it into a veritable walking snack. However, it's known that in recent years, the corn dog has experienced a veritable global renaissance and rebirth thanks to the incredible popularity of South Korea, where it has evolved into a distinct, trendy culinary phenomenon known as the Korean corn dog, or K-dog. The Korean version differs significantly from its American predecessor in several key ways, making it more diverse and photogenic, which is essential for modern social media. Firstly, the dough for Korean corn dogs is often made fluffier and yeastier, sometimes even using rice flour, which gives it a softer, chewier texture, quite unlike the dense American corn dog husk. Secondly, the filling can be much more varied than just sausage. A single corn dog often combines sausage and a thick slice of mozzarella cheese, with the mozzarella placed on top so it stretches beautifully when bitten, creating the famous cheese thread effect. The main and most distinctive feature of the Korean corn dog is its unique outer coating, which adds incredible crunch and texture. Before frying, the corn dog can be completely coated in panko breadcrumbs for an airy crust, or in small cubes of French fries, which gives it a hedgehog-like appearance and adds a crispy potato shell. There are also versions coated in pieces of dry ramen noodles or even sweet cereal, and these coatings completely transform the classic snack. After being fried, Korean corn dogs are often dusted with powdered sugar, which creates a surprising combination of sweet, salty, and fatty flavors, and then topped with several sauces, applied in thin stripes or zigzags, including mayonnaise, mustard, hot chili sauce, and even wasabi. But we shouldn't forget that the corn dog's incredible success, which we see all over the world, has spawned an entire industry. It's no longer just a food item cooked up in a food truck at a fair, but a massive, multi-million-dollar business. There are industrial giants that produce millions, even billions, of these snacks each year for frozen sale in supermarkets, and the production process is a true spectacle. In these factories, everything is fully automated. Machines first thread the sausages onto thousands of wooden sticks per hour, using special sausages that are thicker and longer than those sold in regular stores to withstand the weight of the dough and the frying process. These hot dogs then travel along a conveyor line, where they are dipped in enormous vats of special batter, constantly stirred and maintained at a strictly controlled temperature and consistency to ensure each hot dog has a perfectly even, and precisely defined layer of cornmeal coating. Some manufacturers even double dip to achieve maximum crust thickness. Afterward, the seemingly cooked corn dogs are plunged into giant industrial fryers filled with thousands of liters of hot oil, where they are fried extremely quickly and evenly, with computers monitoring the temperature and timing down to the second to ensure the crust is perfectly golden and crispy, and the inside remains juicy. Immediately after frying, they are put through a specialized cooling and freezing system to preserve their freshness, flavor, and crispiness until they are reheated at home, demonstrating the enormous demand for this simple snack worldwide. This is how we see it. The incredible evolution of the corn dog proves that even the simplest idea can become the basis for a global culinary trend, and its success depends largely on it remaining a functional and affordable product. In fact, there are entire factories dedicated solely to producing corn dogs for sale, frozen in supermarkets, and the process is incredibly interesting because it's completely automated. Machines first thread the sausages onto thousands of sticks per hour. Then these sausages pass through a line where they are dipped in enormous vats of batter, which is constantly maintained at the right temperature and consistency. And then they are plunged into giant fryers, where they are fried to perfection. After frying, they are immediately chilled and packaged to preserve their freshness and crispiness until they reach the consumer's table, demonstrating just how great the demand for this snack is worldwide. Furthermore, the corn dog has inspired other food-on-a-stick products that utilize the same concept of convenience, such as cheese balls, fried chicken pieces, or even battered vegetables served on a stick, demonstrating the versatility of this format. Although the corn dog seems to be a purely American invention, it has successfully adapted to other cultures. For example, in Australia, it is often called the Pluto pup or Dagwood dog, where it is prepared according to slightly modified recipes and is also a staple at summer fairs and beach holidays. In Japan, for example, sweet versions can be found on menus, where the sausage is replaced with cheese or a sweet filling, and the dough has a different composition, demonstrating how cuisines around the world adapt it to their own taste preferences. It's also important to note that the choice of sausage for a corn dog is crucial, as it provides the juiciness and flavor. Traditionally, beef or pork frankfurters are used, but today, turkey, chicken, and even vegetarian options are readily available, making the corn dog accessible to virtually anyone, regardless of diet. So today, we've seen that, ultimately, the corn dog is much more than just a fried sausage. It's the perfect example of how simplicity, convenience, and the right combination of textures and flavors can create a culinary icon that transcends cultural boundaries and continues to bring joy to people around the world, remaining a symbol of carefree celebration and great, quick food.